Good morning, how are you? I'm fine. Very fine.
come on Wednesday because of water commitments. So we better cover this. What I planned for this week, we shouldn't carry over. So I think if your friends don't come, then they will just they will have missed this session. I want us to focus on the evolution of human resources management today. The evolution of human resources management is very interesting. It shows we can also put stroke personnel management. Stroke personnel management. Remember, we looked at the differences between personnel management and human resources management. They are doing the same things. They are doing recruitment, they are doing staffing, they are doing employee welfare. The only difference is that the personnel management is more systematic and it focuses on the rules to be applied, while the human resources is a bit flexible. You tend to look at things in terms of the situation rather than the rule that is there. So that would be the distinction factor, but they are almost doing the same thing. And you remember when I was giving the summary differences, I said human resource management is an advanced version of personnel management. It's an updated version of personnel management. It's the latest. We would rather call it human resources management rather than personnel management. Because personnel is a bit traditional, it is a bit rigid, not as flexible as human resource management, and it is more concerned with the application of rules of the game in terms of managing people. But I would also, before we come to the evolution of human resource management, I would like to, because I'm doing some sort of a summary now, some of these things I'll never talk about them again. I would like to take you through the three important definitions that I've given about human resource management. As I said, I do select. If you check any book, you will find that the definition of human resource management, there are so many definitions. There are so many books of which have been written about human resource management. How are you? Yeah, so there are so many definitions that have been used to define human resources management. But because I'm mindful that you people are doing business administration, I have chosen definitions that suit the context of business management. If you remember, just as a reminder, one of the definitions I gave you, which was provided by Nick Wilton as a set of practices and procedures for the management of relationships that exist between employer and worker. I want to take this to be the genesis or the beginning of the evolution of human resource management. So that's why it's not that I'm just being repetitive for the sake of being repetitive, but I want you to see how human resources management has been carefully defined by Nick Wilton to say that it is a set of practices, a set of practices and procedures which have to do with relationship. HRM, according to Nick Wilton, I want us to move slowly to this. According to Nick Wilton, is practices and procedures. Practices and procedures. And these procedures have to do with management of relationship. Management of relationship. And this relationship is between the employer and the worker. This, to me, today is going to be a very good starting point of evolution of human resources management or personnel management. Nick Wilton describes or defines human resource management as a set of practices, a set of procedures, and these have to do with management of relationships. In other words, there must be something here. Why should we manage the relationship between employer and worker? It is because there are differences. Expectations are from the employer, maximize profit. Maximize profit. Okay? Reduce costs. Reduce costs. Get the most from worker. Okay? Penetrate the market. And expand the business. This is what you would write yourself if you had your own business. Because you will be the employer, the owner of the business. You call the employer as also the owner of the business. Owner plus employer. I'm just trying to show you why we are going into evolution of human resource management. How did it start? Why was it necessary that we should have human resources or personnel management in businesses? This is very important because it adds up to your bank of knowledge about business administration. And it also answers the question, why do we need human resources in businesses? So we'll look at the genesis of the evolution of human resource management. Now I'm looking at this definition by Nick Wilton, summarized in this way: a set of practices and procedures for the management of the relationship between employer and worker. Now I'm trying to say, what is the relationship between employer and the worker? First, the expectations on the part of the employer is to maximize profit. There's no way I can do a business without thinking of profit. And the more profit I make, the better the life that I'll live. And how happy I'm going to be. How happy I'm going to be. I might have explained last week, I've forgotten, but if I do it again, there's no harm, about the drive to lead a better life. The drive to lead a better life. We all want to live a better life. We should not cheat each other. There's a survey that was conducted by Rock Itch, a guy called Rock Itch. He conducted a survey about things we value in life as human beings. And one of them is to live a better life. He called that a terminal value. A terminal value is what we want to achieve. And that's what you and me want to achieve. We want to live a better life. There is no two ways about that. Everything that you are doing and everything that I'm doing, there is one goal. We want to live a better life. You are getting a degree here. What is the ultimate goal? What is the terminal value according to Profit? You want to live a comfortable life. You want to drive. You want to live in area 43 or even a better low-desk area. I don't think you are getting educated here to live in Kistabu or Guizan. No, you want a better place. That's what we all want to achieve. So this is also what the employer wants. He wants to maximize profit. He also wants to live a better life so that he can enjoy his money, fly to Dubai once every year with his family. This is what we want. So because of that, he is careful about spending. Very careful about spending. I want you to see why we need to manage this relationship. On the other hand, the worker also has got expectations. He wants job security. He He wants better pay. He wants benefits. Okay. He wants also to grow and to develop. Now look at this. I want you to look at the start of the evolution of human resource management based on the definition that we already have looked at by Nick Woodman. It's a set of procedures and practices that have to do with the management of relationship between employer and worker. Now, if you look at these expectations and these two are coming together to work, you see that there is conflict. Okay. So, I can add another one. The worker wants to put in minimum but get minimum effort, but get the best. I don't know, because we are not doing human resources, we have got theory X and theory Y. Theory X claims that the human beings are lazy, and for them to work they have to be pushed. There is theory X and theory Y. That theory X takes it that we are all lazy, and under normal circumstances we have to be pushed so that we can work. Whether that is true or not, but that's what theory X says. There is also theory Y, which is the opposite. Says no, human beings are not lazy. You need to give them responsibilities for them to start working. So there is theory X and theory Y. One X says we are all lazy. If anything, friend is in volunteer, also great children. That's what theory X says. They will be great children when you do a push. I mean, theory Y says Muntu is ready to work. You need to build capacity in him. You need to build capacity. You need to create a conducive environment. You need to create a conducive environment for this one. I want you to see this in that light. You think about how did human resource management come about? We have done a lot about introduction to human resource. How did this come about? Why is it now applicable even in business? So you look at this definition. So when you look at the worker, there are certain factors. For a worker to work, for a worker to perform, for a worker to perform, there are three important things. So Timothy P, that's performance. For you and me to work, for me to work, to come here and work, from a country to start, there are three things. It's like an equation. Performance in human resource management is a result of three things. One, it is the result of ability plus environment plus motivation. Three things. I want us to start to look at the evolution of personal management, looking at all these things, which are another theory. How did personal management start coming about? Why was it there? Look here, according to individuals, my expectations are influenced. Now, you can already see that this is in direct conflict to this. This one expects a better pay. This one wants to reduce costs. So if he increases wages to please him, he is reducing the profit. Now, you can see there is that conflict. There is that conflict. And it still prevails up to now. So I want you to know how human resource management involved. We have to have a benefit. You want sick leave. This one, sick leave is the loss. How can you pay somebody who has not come to work? Relationship stealing, you know. Even if I go out in the way of at the end of the month, the reason is I was sick. The employer said, did you come to work? So there is a battle between this. There is a cold war, if it was installed.
conflict between this one and this one. We have in 1 week. She doesn't want, if you look at the employment law, because business is business, so and we are doing human resources management. The Employment Act of Malawi, 2010, says when you fall sick, the employer can pay you your salary up to 3 months. Now you can see 3 months is a lot of time. Let's be honest. The money for 3 months. You can see how this one operates. You still need to pay your employees for 3 months if they are sick and admitted to Employment Act says pay him continuously for 3 months full pay. If the sickness continues, the next 3 months pay him half. So for 6 months, employers have money to start with flagship. Now you can see with business when you see the money is 3 months, 200,000 a watch. Some of them are cheap. Another 3 months, the money is 100 because it's half pay. Then after 6 months, you better retire him on medical grounds. Then because of right, then you need to see Kanichiro, or you have paid him for 6 months. Now I want you to see this. The relationship that Nick Wilton is talking about is not a good relationship. This one wants to get the best. This one wants to reduce the cost. So by finish that, I want to reduce costs and expenses. I want to get better pay and benefits. I have to be given sick leave. There are so many benefits. I mean, I will be someone who run now, but then leave. But also, I want to extend it. I'm always attentive in business as human resource because I'm a human. They want to extend maternity leave to 6 months. A woman gives birth, Panoma 90 days, 3 months. I remember where we Samani, Makoranta and Drama, which is one. Now, you can see the problem here between employer and worker. That's why people say it has to do with the relationship management. We suffer because of that. Now they want to make it wait out 6 months. The woman should be at home halfway year, still looking after the kid, the baby, and getting paid in cheap. Where does this one get the money? Because the money comes from this. You are not working, you are getting paid. So this relationship is not good. This one wants to grow and develop. I'm trying something to grow and develop. I had a very brilliant student one weekend working somewhere. I was surprised, very intelligent, I must say, very brilliant student. So what had happened was after some time, I noticed why he did not submit assignment, best assignment, that was last semester. Then mid-semester he did not write. So I took interest to say, this guy is quite good. I called him and said, what has happened? He said, no, my employer said I have to choose between Kupita Kuchiko and Kupita School. Now, because I've got a family and I've got responsibilities, I've just reluctantly decided not to continue with school. He wants to grow. The employer says that's a waste of time. How can I pay you when you are at school? They are given a week. These days they write exams together with people. So they are always here. In other words, they have to get permission to be out for 1 week writing examinations here. And the employer is not happy because he wants to maximize profit. If I have not come to work, it means my profits will be reduced. This is what we mean. So what I'm saying is, I'm giving this background for you to understand the evolution of human resource. We have defined it. We know what human resource management is. And we know what personnel management is. And we have tried to say it is important in business. Because the success of business depends on the right people in the right positions and knowing what they're supposed to do in the business. Something like that. Now, for this one to perform, there are 3 things that are required. Some people have come up with this formula or equation. That performance is equal to ability. Is equal to ability. So the A stands for ability. Ability means you have got the necessary skills and qualifications. So the ability part has to do with education, qualifications, educational qualification. It has to do with competences, which has to do with skills. It has to do with experience, and it has to do with commitment. That's the first thing. For you to perform, that's why we are educating you. That's why you are here, spending time in class. I talk to you for 2 hours, another lecturer comes, talks to you for 2 hours. What I do is, we are trying to build your ability. Because the education will be the starting point for your ability. For you to be able to perform. They cannot just go to Wadiwa and get someone into this class and say, teach. No, they need somebody with qualification. So I have the ability. So they say that for people, these ones to perform, I want you to see the origin of the evolution of human society. That's why I started with this definition, because it's very good to talk about management. And already you have got a picture here, that the management, the relationship between this one and this one, they have got conflicting views. I want more. I want also to reduce expenses. So for me to spend a lot on this one, there are so many benefits to their housing allowances. There are so many living grants. There are so many you can think of. Pension benefits. This one is not happening. If you look at Malawi right now, people are just being deducted pension, but the money is not being saved. That's why you find in Malawi somebody retires and it takes 1 year before he gets his money. Because the employer is reluctant to send them. So they deduct 5%, but they don't release to pension managers. So most of the organizations and companies are public in terms of not remitting pension. Even taxes are not being remitted to MRI. They deduct, but they don't remit. This one is always looking at the expenses on this. So the picture he has is this one is an expense, but I still have to give him. Because I cannot work alone. Right? So they say the first thing is for these people to perform, they need this ability. That's why we go to school. That's why we get your degree. When you get this degree, don't be satisfied. You get a master's. After some 3 years, get a PhD. This is the common trend now. Slowly, these qualifications are losing value. Standard 8 used to be something you would go to a training, JC. Then after that, now you find that the MSc is nothing. You are looking at bachelor's degree. Not very long from now, masters will be something that will be employers will be looking for. And then so don't be complacent as you're still young, you still have so many responsibilities. You get a job after getting the first degree, just rest a little bit, continue with the master's. If possible, continue with another degree. It's important, it's continuous development. Okay. So they say that for people to perform, this is the language of human resources management now. We say for somebody to perform, he needs the ability. And the ability is gained through educational qualifications and experience. And competences means making you able to do something. That's the competence. It has to do with the skills, it has to do with the training. All those are built up the competence. Now, the next thing is, they're saying for you to perform, you may have this, but there's another important thing. For one to perform, it has to do with the environment. The environment. And the environment is to do with conditions of work. Conditions in the workplace. Conditions in the workplace. transform the environment. We want to study the evolution of human resource. In other words, in my business, or when you become a business development manager, think about this. Do I have people that have got the ability? Yes. They may have the ability, but is the environment okay? Is the environment okay? Now, what is the environment? The way the environment consists of the conditions of employment, the conditions of service, the conditions in the workplace. I have seen people shift from TNM to Airtel. To TNM, they were not even known, but they get a job, a similar job, maybe business development manager, moves from TNM to Airtel. You find that Airtel is very happy. Now you say, what has happened? You were at Airtel, TNM, now you are at Airtel. What has happened? Conditions. I have seen people drop from Chilorandi, 5 million a month to Chilorandi 3.2 million a month. Now I'm asking you, I thought we want money. I said, no. I was getting 5 million, but the environment was not good. So for people to perform, I think this formula is okay, it's true. You may have the ability, but you also need to know the conditions in the workplace. The conditions in the workplace. That makes the environment. You can have a doctor at Kamusendo. You can have a doctor. Right, you can have the well-qualified ability doctors at Kamusendo Hospital. They are not doing anything. They are just moving around and down because maybe the environment is not conducive for them. So the environment is also critical to performance. The third one is called motivation. And motivation has to do with encouragement and incentives. Encouragement and incentives. How are people motivated? Inspiration, encouragement, and incentives. Somebody came up with that formula. Ability, environment, motivation. If people are not motivated, they will not perform. Even if they may have the right qualifications. If people are working in a very hostile, very exploitative, then the environment is not good. People will not perform. People will not perform. So there are so many. Why are you? You should not be surprised. Why is it that when you go into an office where you start work, you need an office with an aircon, you need maybe an office with a carpet, you need an office with a good desk. That's part of the environment. You also need a workplace where you are respected. Because you are human beings. That has to do with the environment. I don't think I can allow it to get 20 million a month, but always the time be not treated like a human being. Enough is enough. Nzaona ntogera kino mu manyumba. Amatabusi y'ekiro nga kale mavulwale nawo. Imakala environment. Most of these workers are now makulekiro mu manyumba. Environment is not okay. Uli beso motivation. Ability amatoka nani. Mwina nabula kiro kuki kwa mposi anasiya. Komasuno environment and motivation. There's many in my business and this is my resilience. And I thought you should also know something about this. You may get the right person, brilliant persons. The there is a company called Cargo Management Logistics, CML. I give an example of this because I once conducted a survey to do with the owners. And I noticed that the problem was this. Not this, but this. Cargo Management Logistics has got an office has got its headquarters in area 28, Robertson, and then it has got a branch, airport, and another one in Makara, Atlanta. It's called Cargo Management. They do freight and clearing. To the airport. Also, they do drugs, pharmaceuticals. The owner is a Malawian, and he asked me to say, I have one problem with my organization. I want you to do a survey and tell me what's wrong with it. So I said, oh, good. He said, I like recruiting young people, and he has got a workforce of about 70. Makata, Atlanta, where I've got this office plus area of the I've got young people. Ndima want to recruit my graduate, and I can tell you that Ndima will more than any other and challenging, and I found out conviction. He says, I paid them because I've done a survey. What would he graduate and be about? When I do this, I pay them handsomely. Commercial, I send them, I'm graduate for 6 months after probation. I do send them this job in Cape Town for 1 week. And I do that because I want to grow these young people. He has a very good goals to them. He has a very good ambition for young people. But the problem is, I can only be for 7 months, most of them resign. So I tend to wonder, I give them better pay, they are sent to South Africa for training, but 7-8 months they are with a rate of resignation. How would I get so disappointed? Can you survey? Find out what is making them leave, because I want these guys to grow with my company. That's what it told me. Now, from my survey, I noticed one thing. It was not the ability. It was not the motivation. They were getting better pay. They were being sent to South Africa for training, but it was the environment. And the environment had nothing to do with it. It had something to do with it. It was a hostile environment. Probably the reason about Abuna was because he trusted my relatives to become supervisors of his area. Because the owner of Cargo is also is a surveyor, because he's into building. He's a surveyor. They mostly are busy designing and so on. So this company, unlike the trustee, would have said some bosses in the department happen to be his relatives. And one of his relatives who was constantly being mentioned by these young people, because I had a discussion with them. I went to Makata, the Makani one-on-one discussion. I developed a questionnaire. Is your style okay? Most of them say, yeah, very okay. Are you comfortable with this? Very okay. Have you ever attended a training? Yes, I went to South Africa last year for 1 week to get trained on this, to improve ability. Do you like your work? Oh, yes. If I came back after 10 years, will I find you here? No, you will not find me. I'm back. Now, you say drama, Maro, now if I say 10 years in the Gaza, will I find you? No, you will not find me. There was one person, he happened to be his in-law, another sister Wabana. Then this guy had a bank, not as a senior person, but he was working as a bank commissioner. This is our bank, to Macau. So because he lost his job there, he was taken there now, position yourself needs ability. Now he is the reason for torturing these young people. He was the reason for torturing these young people. Amazonza, the work environment was hostile and exploited. So these boys were saying, yes, this guy, somebody he doesn't treat us like human beings. So that's why they were saying, yes, the money is there. We have gone to South Africa for training, but we can't stay in this environment. So this is what contributes to the format. This fact, ability, environment, and motivation. I wanted us to start from there because I want us to look at the evolution of human resource management, and we'll look at several stages. So we look at stages in the evolution of human resource management or stroke personnel management. The evolution, you know what evolution means, or I need not define it, it's not important as such, but the point is evolution has got certain stages. Stages in the evolution of human resource management. Why are we talking about human resource management in businesses? This is how it started. During the first stage is called the social justice stage. Social justice stage. That's how human resource management started to be known in the field of business and other organizations. It came in as a social justice. Now, what is social justice? Social justice has to do with fairness and equity. Fairness and equity. That's social justice. Fairness and equity. Justice is Yoga. Social means fairness and equity. It has to do with balancing of resource access. I will put it like that. Balancing of resource access. There must not be a fair advantage. I will put a lot of words here because I want to connect to legal weapon. Okay? there must be equity and equal access. Equal access. Equal access to resources. No unfairness, no unfair advantage. I will put in a lot of things. The reason I want you to understand the introduction of human resource in business. There was an observation. There was a need to make sure that there is fairness and equity. They should balance resource access, and we should have equal access to resources, and there should be no unfair advantage. What am I talking about? Already, you can see that this is between employer and worker. That's why I brought in that definition. It came in because there was need to regulate this relationship. There was need to regulate. Now, the moment you regulate this relationship, you are going back to that definition by Nicodemus, that is the management of relationship between employer and worker. It was noted, and this was during the industrial, particularly so, I'll call it particularly so, it was noted. It was noted during the Industrial Revolution. I'll just put IR, Industrial Revolution. It was noted during the Industrial Revolution that there was total injustice. Okay? It was particularly noted. So, during the Industrial Revolution,
second point after fairness and equity is equal access to
resources. Balancing of resource access. Balancing means
no, I mean the other one.
The other one is equal access to resources and no unfair advantage. But it was particularly so during the Industrial Revolution. And this was rightly observed by Robert Owens, a guy called Robert Owens, and Lord Shaftesbury. These two people conducted a survey, and they came up with very horrible findings, very disgusting findings about the injustice in the factories. This was the time that we had a boom in factories. Okay? Factories in the UK, and it was the Industrial Revolution. Now, what was happening in the Industrial Revolution is there was migration from rural areas to where factories were located. So there was now issues of urbanization. There were now issues of employment. There were now issues of health and sanitation. There were now issues of accommodation. There were now issues of human rights because of the factory growth. The factory owner, let's take the same scenario I've given about the Wilton. The factory owner, I'll put F4, and on the other hand, and the factory worker. During the Industrial Revolution, the factory owner, as usual, was interested in profit. And because of looking at profit, focusing on profit, he looked at the factory worker as just a tool to come to profit. There was no thinking. Any business owner or these factory owners never thought about the welfare of this.